I sold my trailer. I finally sold my 14-foot long Gooseneck dumpster roll-off trailer from Texas Pride. When I started junk removal in 2007, I just remembered how I struggled to build my business to what it was. And after 3 years of running my business, I said, man, if I'm going to make it big and make it a bigger business and something that I can make a living off of, I'd have to get a supplemental business, because junk removal wasn't the best thing. I remember that. Junk removal was something I could do 3 or 4 times, 5 times a week, and then renting dumpsters would be something cool. It'd be like a supplemental income. So I'd get into the dumpster business and then, gradually roll off the junk removal business. And I saved that whole year. And I remember saving a little over $20,000. And they had a sale. Texas Pride had this sale. It was $18,900 for the dumpster, the roll off Gooseneck, 5 trailers. And it was $18,900. And then they hit me with tax. And I ran around a little over $20,000. But I remember telling the guy, dude, it was like 21,000 something and some change. And I remember telling the guy, hey bro, I only brought 20,000. I just drove all the way from Fort Worth to here. From Dallas to here, and this is all I have. And he said, okay, I'll make you a deal. And he rolled some of the taxes off of it. I sent him some payments later on, like 2 payments of $500, and then we made it. But I took home a 2010 14-foot Gooseneck roll-off dumpster with 5 dumpsters. And I remember when they arrived, I elevated and each one flew off. I took the straps off each one and flew off. Besides the fact, but that trailer, it changed my business a lot. It changed my business, but it also made me look and see what was important part of my business, which part I should really concentrate on. One of the things that I liked about the trailer, it was new. Nobody had one. Think about this, guys. This is 10 years ago. Nobody had these trailers. Now I see them all over the highway and stuff, and I'm always like, wow, that's a Texas Pride. That's old. You know what I mean? But I could just remember my trailer when I first brought it. People would ask me, wow, what is that? And I'd roll it off into people's yards. And I rented my dumpster for $250. I could do that for $250 for a long time. For the first 3 or 4 years that I had that trailer, I rolled them off for $250. Then I raised the price to $300. I saw more people doing it, having a 10-yard or a 12-yard dumpster for $300. They were getting away with it. So I said, you know what, I'll just do it. They didn't have the roll-off system. They just had dumpsters, right? That came off their trucks, but not where I had my F350 hooked up to the Gooseneck, and then the Gooseneck had the trailer. They didn't have that. As my business is growing, I'm realizing that it was different. This was a good supplemental business, but it wasn't a great supplemental business. And I want to tell you why. See guys, when you do a garage clean out for $300, you go and you show up with your trailer, your enclosed trailer, and you do a $300 job, and you load it, and then you dispose of it also, and it's $300. The dumpster roll-off is pretty different. You would go, show up, let the dumpster down, sit it there in the driveway. They did charge them $300. They would fill it up, and then you would have to come back in about 5 to 7 days and deal with it and go and load it. See, there's a big difference, guys, because these days fuel is not cheap. Also, time is not cheap for me, and I build my business on efficiency. Efficiency is a big deal to me. It's because of the amount of jobs that we get on a daily basis. I have to move from job to job so really quick. If I already made that $300 on Monday, and then Friday I'm going back to pick up that dumpster, I'm wasting my time. I already made the $300 in a garage clean out. Why would I go and pick up a dumpster that has zero amount of income coming in for me? And that's how I looked at it. See, one other thing about the dumpster, I want to tell you one more thing about the dumpster, is that most people would fill up the dumpster and they would max it out. They abuse the dumpster, they'd overfill it. Sometimes they'd put things they weren't supposed to, such as paint, brick, concrete, cement, rocks, shingles, things like that. And you had to really honestly trust the customer on that end. When you're filling up your enclosed trailer, you know what you're putting into it. And here's another thing. A 11-yard dumpster trailer, a 12-yard dumpster trailer can only hold so much. When my enclosed 16-foot trailers was holding about 29.5 square yards, almost 30 square yards in my 16-foot trailer, because I could go 8 foot high or 7.5 foot high. It doesn't really matter. I could only make $300 on this dumpster, and because the customers were filling it up. And then the enclosed trailer, well, I could make $300 and put another $300 and put another $200 into it. So it was more economically for me to stick to enclosed trailers. So as the years went by, I just neglected the dumpster, and it sat there, I had two of them. So I had a trailer hitch one that hitched just like a normal trailer, and then I had a gooseneck, and the gooseneck was actually my second purchase. The hitch that you hook up to the bumper, the normal trailer hitch, was about 1 year prior to that, you know, and I thought, oh man, I'm gonna make money too back then. And you know, when I sold that one, it didn't affect my business. Okay, I had sold that one immediately. I think I owned that trailer, the hitch, the normal hitch one. I think I owned that for about 5 or 6 years, and I just got rid of it. I just had a lot of problems with that one. I was always hitting things, you know, dumpster problems, not wanting to deal with it. So I sold that one. I remember selling that for about $10,000. But this one I kept longer because I could drive it better. It was easier to drive, but still, overall, there was a lot of things wrong with the trailer. For instance, in my business, it just wasn't efficient for me. I wasn't making enough money off the dumpster that I needed to, and then the efficiency of going back to pick it up. So if I dropped it off, if I went to Frisco to make $300 in my enclosed trailer, I came back and I could do another job in Dallas or another job in Arlington. It didn't matter. With the dumpster roll-off, I'd drop it off on Monday, make my $300, and then I'd waste my time on Friday, 5 days later, to go pick it up and make no money, and then go dump it, and then go do another job or whatever. There was no efficiency to it because most of my customers were filling it up all the way. I couldn't put extra trash in. But after sitting there for years and years, over five years that was been parked in my parking lot, I took a look at it, and I would start up the truck every once in a while. I'd sometimes have to jump the truck that was attached to it. I noticed a lot of things. That the dumpster trailer did help me grow my business. I will tell you that the dumpster trailer did help me escalate and build my business at a certain point, even though I know I could have done that with the enclosed trailer. One of the things that I didn't like about the dumpster trailer these days is once you attach it to your truck, you're gonna see your gas mileage dramatically drop. You're talking about almost close to 4,000 pounds that you're pulling anywhere empty. And then with another 2,000 pounds, you're talking about 6,000 pounds. That's 3 tons that you're pulling anywhere. So that's gonna make an effect on your gas mileage. The second thing, the driving it around, you know, moving it, the mobility on the vehicle is very, very difficult. You have to be careful you don't hit a car every time you turn left or turn right. I was really good at driving it, so it rarely happened, but did it happen? Yeah, it did happen. It happened a few times. And the last thing that really bothered me about the dumpster trailer is it was putting a lot of wear and tear on my trucks. I think the Gooseneck trailer went through 3 truck transmissions, and after that, I just started realizing that it was time to put it up. So I left it parked there, like I said, 5 years, and it sat there for 5 years. And I would move it every once in a while just for the hell of it, and I would take it to recycling. And that's what I started doing it. I used it for recycling. I would drop the dumpster down and then come by with something and just throw it in there for recycling. And then until like a week, it takes about a week for it to get pulled up, and then put it back on the trailer and then take it to the recycling. We'll go make my measly $200. And that's what I used it for. And then I just started subcontracting all my recycling, and then it sat there again for another 2 years. So last week I decided to go do a job with it. I cleaned it up, I painted it, I greased it back up, I put I charged up the batteries. I remember charging up the batteries and just making the vehicle work better. Okay, I fixed the tail light. I put a new little switch on it, to make it go up and down because I was hitting the wires together. There's a lot of problems. And I got it going. And I went to go do a job in Dallas, and then the next day I used it again and went and do another job. And then I said, you know what? It's just not worth it. This trailer's not efficient to me. It might be efficient to you, and you might want to grow your business with it, but I think as time grows, you need a big truck to pull this. Anything over 3,500. 350, anything over that is a great truck. Now, a lot of people are going to say, hey, I use my F250. Good, that's great. Use it. Keep on using it for the next 10 years, and we'll see how it goes, okay? Trust me. I played that little mind trick with myself, too, after that many years. But I want to tell you something, guys. It put a lot of wear and tear on my vehicles, and that was one of the main reasons I got rid of it. So, I sold it. Well, of course, I fixed it up. Then I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and I announced that I would sell it for $7,000. I paid I'm gonna pay $20,000 for it. I'm gonna sell it for $7,000. And I know I could have got 10 for it. I know I almost got 12 for it. But here's the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to give someone else the opportunity to use this trailer for their business to grow their junk removal business. That's why I sold it toes cheap at $7,000. Immediately, I got an offer, but I got a sneaky offer. Texas Pride, someone notified Texas Pride that I was actually selling my trailer, and they offered me $8,000 for that trailer. Now, I didn't tell a lot of people about this because I was really disappointed. I was just like, why isn't just anybody else jumping at it? Texas Pride was the first person who actually picked up the phone and called me about my trailer. The guy said, I will give you $8,000, drive it down here to Madisonville, Texas, and I'll give you $8,000 check. And I said, no, I want cash, and you come and pick it up. And that was the big deal. I passed on Madisonville, Texas Pride. The only reason I passed on them, well, I have two reasons I passed on them. The first reason it was I didn't want to drive to Madisonville and pick up $8,000 cash or check or whatever they were going to give me. And the second reason is this. I knew exactly what Texas Pride would do. They would take this trailer, they would fix it, paint it, redo it, take out a few dents that I had on it, and then they would put it like it was new for $25,000. That's the kind of people that Texas Pride had down there, so I realized I knew what to do. I priced it at $8,000 back on Facebook Marketplace, and immediately I got a buyer. Now, I don't want to mention his name, but he drove all the way down here from Florida, and a couple of days ago, he picked it up. I sold him the trailer for $8,000 cash, and he took it, and he was happy, and he will use it in his new junk removal business. I know he owns a pressure washing business right now at this moment, but he's going to use his trailer to build his business. So congratulations for the new trailer that you got from me, and I hope it excels your business. But guys, after 10 years of owning this trailer, I let it go. And guys, I appreciate everybody sitting here and waiting, listening to this video that I just did. But you know, a lot of people have remorse whenever their truck breaks down or something. I don't. I really don't. I just look at these as building blocks. Vehicles are building blocks to build and excel your business. I don't, but I thought this was an important video to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video.
Do you dream of making more money with your business or creating a business that doesn't rely on you? You're going to solve all of these problems and more at JunkCon 22. You're going to gain something that's going to make you thousands, hundreds of thousands, or maybe even millions of dollars over the years to come. And as an exclusive deal for fans of Ricardo's content, you're going to be entered into a drawing to win a brand new Sawzall with a full set of Diablo Steel Demon Blades. Click the link in the description to get your tickets now. Y'all are crushing it out there, and Ricardo and myself look forward to seeing you at JunkCon 22.